What is going on, everybody? Welcome in to another edition of the Young Guns podcast. What are you talking about, Yves? We weren't even late. I switched it over to,
it's not showing.
Show off the non-existent guns right here, baby. Let's go. Let's go. We getting strong out here, feel me? Nah, it looked well.
It was me. It was me, guys. It was me, by the way.
I look extremely weak on camera, bro. I
You're
swear
good,
it's
bro.
not that small, bro. I
You're
swear.
wearing the USPS shirt?
Yeah, man. You know,
I know you said you worked
really
at UPS before and it was bad, right?
No,
but did
UP,
you see their new?
UPS.
Did you see their pay raise?
At UPS? I heard, because they went on strike because their union is so damn strong, and the USPS union needs to get just as strong as the Teamsters, man.
For those of you that don't know, a UPS driver can now make up to $170,000 a year.
Yeah, it was at 100.
That's insane.
The person who got me into UPS was making over 110 already. So yeah, I imagine.
Listen, man. Why'd you leave them again?
I left them because it was hell, and I was working overnights, and it was gonna be a long time before I became a driver. The post office was gonna let me be a driver automatically. Like, that's how they work. You're just a driver.
How long are we talking for UPS? I'm seriously considering this now.
UPS, bro, it is.
How long did they tell you obviously this is years ago,
it all depends on seniority, your hub that you're at, no pun intended, the hub that you're at, and all depends on seniority and how big your hub is. So it all depends, but I was going to be a couple years. And on top of that, it's different for me because I had just turned, I was 20 and I had to be 21 to even become a driver. So I had to wait even then. So, yeah, but listen, I'll be honest with you. Post office to me is a little better, but if you want to, if you want
that bread,
yeah, but you want that bread, but you're not gonna have a life. That's the thing. It's like 12 hours.
I've literally seen you almost always have to start off in the warehouse, and I've heard from multiple people and read online that UPS warehouse is probably the most backbreaking job out there.
It's hell. They will make you lift up, bro. I only weighed like 100 pounds there,
and they made you lift how much?
100 pounds. My body weight. So what is going on, everybody? We got a little sidetracked, and I don't know what you're talking about, Steve. We are not 20 minutes late. Okay, I changed it to 9:45 because we had to, and we went live at like what 9:46, and we had that little 2 minute break, 2 minute like intro to let everybody come in. But KB is living lavish right now. I mean, I'm not where I want to be right now, but we getting there. You feel
Yeah,
me?
yeah, yeah. It's a progress. It's a work in
You
progress.
feel me? Yo, Raj
Shout out
says
to I'm back
175K.
scene.
What
I've
up?
never
What up?
seen that name
I
before.
hope so. I hope so. I hope we do. Instead of 175K, I might drop out, but it's just hell. It's just hell. All the drivers, they're like not married, bro, because they just don't have lives. No disrespect to UPS driver, but they break in my Amazon packages. I can't pay more than teachers. Yeah. Yep. But you guys think Dimes plays Friday? Oh, I am so sorry. You guys think he will. He will. There's only 3 preseason games. He's gonna play. At least a drive or two. I would bank on 2 drives. I would bank on 2 drives, and then just because that he has a lot more pieces there, they want to get some real game. And there's no joint practices, obviously, so he's not gonna have
Is
any.
there like has there been established yet like we've had what 2 or 3 seasons now with 3 preseasons games. Has it been established yet which one is the quote unquote where the starters play?
No, I mean it all depends on the coaches. I mean, but our
Mm,
coaches specifically, because some starters played last week. There's a lot of starters that played last week for other teams.
mm.
For the
Yeah, I
Giants,
saw that too. Yeah.
Giants and Lions. I mean, Jason Pinnock played for us, and he's pretty much the starter. Deontay Banks played. Guys like that. They younger guys they want to see more of. They're probably gonna be playing. But in this second game, I really think all the starters are gonna be out there for at least a drive or two. So
Hmm.
we'll see. But here's the thing: I doubt Darren Waller plays. I just doubt Darren Waller plays. Just like the guys that like bro, he's been killing everybody in camp. It's just like no competition. I don't even see why you would want to besides chemistry, but it seems like chemistry is not a problem in training camp for Jones and Waller. But the Giants had their game. And by the way, shout out to everybody in the chat. Yuv Raj in the building, Rayvon in the building, Steve, little Steve in the building,
Yes, sir.
Alvar in the building. I'm back, Seam in the building. And I got everybody. But yeah, shout out to everybody in the chat. The Giants just finished their game. Well, they didn't just finish the game last week. Face off against the Lions, lost 21-16. And wow, I forgot the intro. So go ahead and speak a little bit while I download this intro into the into the stream.
Download the intro.
We'll put it
So
into the stream yard.
the Giants Lions game definitely something we gotta talk about, amongst other things. I'm not sure if you got just for a little fun section, the Daniel Jones Hugo Boss thing that he did, and I swear these Giants players go everywhere I don't go. It's not like I'm in one spot in New York, and I'm sure that was probably a Boss store, if not in the city on the Jersey side of things. I just want to randomly interact with one of these Giants players one day because nobody in that video recognized Daniel Jones, and I don't know how. I would have been going
At
crazy as
the
soon as I
end,
saw him,
at
bro.
the end, they did. Well,
It was
they
and it was very non-fan like. I'm just gonna
yeah
say that. So
yeah. He was like, "You're
professional.
Daniel
And
Jones."
one of them that recognized him wasn't even a Giants fan. It was the Eagles fan that recognized him at one point.
That's so sad, bro.
And it's like,
That's
what's
so
going
sad.
on, bro?
He was talking to the to one of the Giants fans. He's like, "Hey, you looking for?" He said, "Hey, you looking for Giants stuff?" He's like, yeah." He's like, "You Giants fan? I'm a Giants fan. How do you not know who Daniel Jones is? Like, how do you not know what he looks like? I mean, love him or hate
But
him, you're gonna know what he
one of
looks
them
like."
said, I'm a big Giants fan. Like, stop the cap.
Stop the cap.
Stop the cap. You're a big Giants fan. You don't even know what this man looks like, bro. Come on, bro. Stop it.
This thing is still process. Why is it taking so long? I don't understand. But guys, we're gonna go over our whole recap. Were you able to like see anything of the game, like recap it or like the recap or the
I
highlights?
saw like the first quarter or two, maybe the first 2 quarters. And because I was so KB knows this, I was at the gym while the game was on. So after a while, when I just really got into my workout, I kind of like put my phone down, which where I was watching it on. And also by that point, we were playing like a lot of players that are probably gonna get cut. Just not to say it
Yeah.
callously, but that's just the fact. And I also turned it off because I was like high key disgusted by what I was seeing by our backup O line. I was like,
Dude, our offense
is
was not
our
it was terrible.
is our offensive line depth this bad, or are the Lions defensive depth this good? Is a combination of both? Here's the thing:
Combination of both. Combination of both.
I was gonna say, even if the Lions defensive depth is that good, edge rushing specifically, and it's a combination of both, I'm just like, what I'm seeing from this depth offensive line is really worrying. And I saw a tweet literally yesterday, wasn't the Giants specific, it was NFL wide, where they're like, I feel like a lot of teams are one O line injury away from their line falling apart. Because apparently a lot of depth across the NFL for the offensive line is just
All right.
terrible, where they're just getting smacked.
I'm gonna get right into that in a second, but it finally loaded in, so let's go.
Sudfeld under pressure on his first throw, looking for Jamison Williams, and it's intercepted on the opening throw of the game.
Shaw, so you can continue this drive.
2 for 3 on third down so far.
Looking to the sideline.
Here, 2. Absolutely. Sudfeld's back to throw again, has plenty of time to work with. This is his second interception of the game. Over the middle making the play is Dane Belton, and he'll roam down the sideline. Finally tracked down inside of the 15. It's pinned back to their own goal line again. This is a one-on-one matchup in the end zone. Won by the Giants.
That was quite long. That was longer than I expected.
Yeah, I was trying to get some key plays in there to add in there. I didn't want to single anything out, but those were probably the best plays of the game. But
and shout out to Ray Vaughn. I don't know if you want to get immediately into the O-line conversation, but I saw that his and Edward. I haven't seen Edward in a minute. What's up, man?
What up, Edward Chan? We should get right into the O-line. Let me read this comment real quick. Ray Vaughn said, "I'm low-key worried about our starting guards. Our swinging gate. Glowinski is on a downside. Is on the downside and was bad last year, and Bredesen is below average at best." Here's the thing I will say.
I think Bredesen is better than you give him credit for.
Yeah. From what I've heard in camp, don't take my word for it, but a lot of people, and this is not just one source. This is like both the guys that talk in Giants, Justin and Bobby. Believe it or not, I really trust them a lot more than a lot of these other people because they really analyze this stuff. But even Art Stapleton, I think Jordan Renan, they're all saying that Ben Bredesen, besides JMS, is like clearly the best interior offensive lineman, and that's even including Glowinski. So I would say I would give Bredesen a little bit more credit, but you're right, Glowinski is definitely not what we paid for so far. We'll see obviously we're going to give him another chance to see what happens, but you're right. Let's talk about this O-line first, because I think that is the biggest reason why when the Giants were on the field offensively, it was a snooze fest. Like I really, what I took out of this game is these defensive players and how much I like these young defensive players. And then on the offensive side of the football, it was the depth that offensive line is so lacking. Okay, first of all, get Corey Cunningham off of my football team.
Yo, chill. Not too much on Corey Cunningham, bro. Chill on him.
Bro, number 79 is eligible. He's number 70 now, and he is garbage.
Chill on number 79, bro. I may have a chance at meeting this man and getting him on the pod. You may have just thrown that out the window, but chill on Corey Cunningham, bro.
What is wrong? I'm sorry.
One of my friends is friends with him.
You're freaking crazy.
So you know how I found this out too?
Have you been watching my Twitter? You should have warned me about
I'm still getting back into groovy YouTube things. You know, I've been so removed from like a lot of stuff Giants related. Especially on Twitter. I've been much more like wrestling on Twitter now on my hub account. But yo, my friend literally asked me, he was like, "Yo, you're a Giants fan, right?" I was like, "Yeah, I'm a relatively big Giants fan." He's like, yeah. I know, I know this guy that I went to school with. He's on the Giants. He's a tackle. My first thing, I was like, Andrew Thomas, bro, please say Andrew Thomas. But he was like, no. He was like, yeah, his name is Corey. And I was like, who the hell on our team is Corey? And I had to go look at the depth chart, bro. And I was like, oh, Corey Cunningham. Oh, yeah, I love him. But, nah, I mean, let's be honest. I kind of just threw it out the window with the way I just described it as well. So go ahead, bro. Go off.
Yeah,
bro.
I mean, you should have looked at my Twitter before you went on. And you looked at all of Twitter because they are lighting his ass on fire.
Listen. I don't blame them. I really don't blame them, man. Our offensive line, I agree with you, is really a huge reason on why the offense can't do anything. It's literally the most basic logic in football. If you can't get your blocking right, you really can't do anything on offense. You can't pass. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? You can't run. You can't even do a play fake. The only thing you could probably do is spike the football. I got one thing to add on because this kind of also translates to struggles Evan Neal had last year. Everybody knows he had struggles last year. That's not the point I'm bringing up. One of the reasons, and we all have our speculations as to why the Giants' offense was literally shifted from the first half of the season, Saquon Barkley running focus. Second half of the season, it was very clearly
They're lighting him up in the comments already.
I saw it was the second half of the season last year was very clearly shifted towards the passing game and a bit more of a vertical offense. You know, a lot of people, including myself, said they just simply trusted Daniel Jones more. A lot of people, including myself, said Saquon's shoulder injury towards the middle of the season has something to do with it. There's a lot of things, but another reason is because, and can't remember whose video I watched. It might have been Brett Coleman. It might have been somebody else's that talks about Andrew. I said Andrew Thomas. Evan Neal's blocking specifically. He got too vertical early on in the season, meaning that he allowed edge rushers to get past him more easily. He's making the corner a lot shorter for these edges to turn and get past them. And because of that, if they're getting past them, passing plays are not going to be allowed. And the coaches recognized that, so they didn't call much deep, long developing passing plays because Evan had yet to catch up to that type of stance and that type of blocking. And throughout the season, he got better at it. So it's just a little tidbit I want to bring up. Like I said, I can't remember which video I watched that talked about that, but shout out to that creator for sure. And of course, that directly relates to the basic logic of if you can't block properly, nothing's going to develop. And that's what we saw with the Detroit game. It was really just bad, terrible offensive line play for most of it.
And it really tells to the fact of how valuable Saquon Barkley is. Okay, when you don't have Saquon Barkley on the field and you have offensive linemen like that out there, remember Saquon was running behind guys like that, like Corey Cunningham, like Matt Parrott. Now Matt Parrott wasn't terrible, but he wasn't great either. But you know, all those interior offensive, Wyatt Davis is absolutely terrible. He's a turnstile. The offensive line depth is terrible, and it really tells to how good Saquon Barkley is and how irreplaceable he is. I know a lot of people, especially during this offseason, it was back and forth between should you resign Saquon Barkley? Is he replaceable? He's the running back position. You know, the position versus value, that whole thing, especially with the running back position, is just going to be a never-ending argument. And when it comes to Saquon Barkley, there is his talent, and then there is his injury potential, and then there is his positional value. And it really proved that Saquon Barkley, we need him. You can't just throw in. First of all, everybody who thought Eric Gray was going to be some savior and some replacement for Saquon Barkley, you're bugging. Okay, I first of all, I got a roller coaster of emotions with Eric Gray. First, when we drafted him, I'm like, who is this guy? And then I was looking at a bit of his film, and I'm like, I'm not really into him, man. He doesn't have the burst I like. He doesn't have any of that. But then I really went into his all 22, and man, this guy makes some nasty cuts inside the line. He doesn't have the burst. He cannot break away. So why do we have him at kick and punt returner? Who knows? But he cannot break away. And he has decent vision, but he cannot hit those holes like Saquon can. He cannot burst through those holes like Saquon can. When
literally
you watch
the two
Eric
comments
Gray,
when you brought up Eric Gray, bro. The first one from Murray Vaughn, he looks slow. The second one, he's so mid.
Slow. I put it on Twitter. Here's the thing. I'll get to the super chat in just a second too, I promise. When you I was talking to Diggy, and Diggy knew about Eric Gray before we drafted him, and he was like, man, I'm telling you, this guy's good. And I was like, I feel you, Diggy, but he's just really slow. Like, I don't like slow running backs. Like, if you're slow, you got to be extremely powerful. Eric Gray is not really powerful. He's just a really good one cut back. He's like
so he's what Abrar said. He sounds mid.
Yeah, he's like a better version of what Rashad Jennings was. Okay. And Rashad Jennings was good, but he
was our starting back for a year, or was it 2 years?
He was, but here's the thing: Rashad Jennings has some breakaway speed. Eric Gray does not. You will catch Eric Gray. My grandma could catch Eric Gray. So I don't know what it is. He was stomping and pounding his feet, but he was not moving anywhere. Like slow as molasses.
It almost makes you wonder.
Robinson too, by the way.
It almost makes you wonder. And shout out to Tom Darling. I saw that comment. I really appreciate that, man.
We appreciate you, Tom.
Love to have your support. Everybody in here, always love to have your guys' support. We say it every week. Without you guys, there is no show. So shout out to all y'all in here. I see John Doe, Aaron DeWint, Gaming God, everybody else in here, Daniel. And we're going to get to Tudo Super Chat. But it almost makes you wonder, KB, because I haven't necessarily been enamored, blown away with what I've seen from Eric Gray. I think he's literally the position he is right now, which is fine as a rookie. I think he's literally just a backup running back. Maybe he could develop into something else, but it really does make you wonder. I was going to say, do you think they always somehow knew or were so confident they were going to get Saquon back? Because he's definitely not a starting running back right now. And I don't think he was going to be at any point during we'll
I
see what happens. But or do
I
you think they
think
were planning to sign a starting caliber running back somehow?
that I'll address. Let me address the super chat real quick, and then I'll address that. Massive salute and respects to KB27 Kush and all diehard Giants fans in America. Giants about to shock the world to
Shout
win
out to
some
Tudo.
win some championships this coming season. Appreciate you, Tudo. Thank you so much for
Always love the love, Tudo.
Always love the love, man. But to address that, I think because obviously they talked to Saquon Barkley throughout the year. They know how the attitude is. We don't really know that. They know how they're talking up to him face to face, talking to his agent. They probably thought that, but at the same time, the Giants just had so much other problems. Like, think about if Saquon Barkley wasn't on this team, I think we still have to draft the guys that we drafted early, right? We still got to draft
Oh yeah,
Deontay.
agree. If
We still gotta
Saquon
draft,
didn't come to
you know what
this
I'm saying?
team, and I mean, we saw it happen because they were still in negotiations with him. There would have been no change into the
Like,
draft class because that already
I
happened
would
so many months ago.
right. Like, I would not draft Zach Charbonnet in the second round over JMS. Like, I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't do that. You know what I'm saying? So I think either way, we probably would have ended up in the same situation. But yeah, like I said, Eric Gray, he needs a formidable offensive line. Like, he needs a good offensive line. He is not going to create his own lanes. He has great vision and he knows how to get his way through, but he needs those lanes to be made. He needs those holes to be had. So I don't think Eric Gray nor Matt Breida or James Robinson will ever amount to the production that a Saquon Barkley provides. So I mean
Your Lestat?
what up, Lestat? What is going on, man? But yeah, that's just it doesn't he has to be on this team. He had to come back, and thank God that he did, because if we got to see, okay, I put it on Twitter. I don't know if you saw it. He reminded me. He's exactly like Andre Williams, Eric Gray, except Andre Williams was more of a bruiser. You remember Andre Williams?
Interesting comparison. Didn't he also
Yeah.
wear 40 something?
Eric Gray is wearing.
No, Andre.
Andre Williams he wore 44. Yeah, he wore 44,
Oh,
just like Ahmad Bradshaw. So I
Yeah.
made sure I put in my Twitter post that is not Ahmad Bradshaw. But yeah, I mean, Andre Williams would hit the hole because he had no vision. He had no vision at all. But he would hit the hole and just wouldn't move. He had no power to get through. He had no speed at all. Same thing with Eric Gray, man. I mean, there was points on the outside where they were running inside zone, and he would like try to break it in between the tackle and guard. And I swear, bro, I'm like, bro, why aren't you moving? Like, it looked like I was watching it in 0.25 speed, bro. He just wasn't moving through the hole. He was just easily getting caught over and over and over again. There were plenty of opportunities that he saw where he needed to go. He just couldn't get there in time.
And it sounds like we're ragging on Eric Gray right now, of course.
I am.
But
I mean, I'm hard on these. I'm hard on these guys, man.
But I will say to not be too hard on him because he is a rookie and the season hasn't even started. Like John Doe has said, they could have drafted him specifically because not necessarily because he could be the point of production, but because he could lead to other production through his blocking and catching fundamentals.
He catches very good.
And we know this coaching staff is all about their fundamentals. So like that very much could have been the main reason, which is fine. I'm waiting to see what he does. Getting back, I feel like we definitely got a little bit sidetracked with the Eric Gray conversation. Getting back to the offense as a whole, yeah, blocking wasn't there, and so you didn't really see much. What do you think about the wide receivers, even though they were, obviously depth wide receivers we saw most of? Cole Beasley honestly looked the best out of all of them. I'll just say that.
Oh yeah, well, let me say something because I was gonna put a lower third for that, but I'm not gonna. I didn't think we were gonna talk about too much. But as far as wide receivers go, hot take: Cole Beasley and Jamison Crowder need to make this team. Like, it is a must. Like, they have to be locks.
Okay, a must is definitely a hot take because I'll say this. Like I just said, Cole Beasley looked like the best receiver out there, and it's not like a situation where I'm gonna say and it wasn't close, but it was like you could very much tell that guy is an NFL veteran, and it still surprises me how good he is considering I don't think he played last year. I might be wrong on that.
He retired twice last year, and then
exactly.
He played with the Bucks,
and he looked
and then played with the Bills. He played with the Bills again. They re-signed him.
I don't know about Jamison Crowder being a must purely because at that point we're giving 2 roster spots to them. Because how many wide receivers do you think we're entering the season with?
I've heard a lot of people throw around that the 7 number. I heard a lot of people throwing around the 7 number. I think it's
So
possible.
let's just start
Mhm.
off. Slayton, uh, Campbell, Hodgins, which I do want to say this entire offseason, I feel like I've seen nothing from Isaiah Hodgins. I'm not going to overreact, but I
Yeah,
just
but
want to put
he's
that out there.
still he's just a possession guy. He's not like a big play
Yeah.
guy.
And then the second stringers, obviously Wandale and Hyatt are a must, literally our last 2 draft picks. And then you already get to 6 and 7. So you're saying Jamison Crowder, Cole Beasley. That means no Sterling Shepard. That means
Well, here's the thing. Wandale is not going to be day 1 on the day 1 roster. He's going to be out a while. I think
who would be your 7 then?
Everybody keeps teasing that he's coming back. I don't think he's coming back that soon.
Who would be your 7?
Who would be my 7? Probably Jamison Crowder.
No, like list out the 7 is what I was saying.
Oh, okay. Let's see. We have the starting 3: Paris, Darius, Isaiah Hodgins, Hyatt, Beasley, Sterling Shepard. And who am I missing after that?
Colin Johnson.
No, screw Colin Johnson. And then
the
Jamison
guy I've
Crowder.
seen a lot of, Bryce Wheaton or something.
Yeah, Bryce Ford Wheaton. He'll be on the practice squad, but he'll be gone. But he's just not good. He's not.
Wait, did you say Sterling yet or no?
Yeah, I said Sterling.
Okay.
Did I? Yeah, I said Sterling. No. Yeah, I did. Okay, let me start all over again. Screw that. All right. I wish we could write. I'm gonna write this down so I don't forget.
Yeah.
All right. So we got the starting
Slayton,
3.
Campbell, and Hodgins. Starting 3.
Slayton, Hodgins, Campbell, and you guys could put your starting 7 as well in the comments. Slayton, Hodgins, Campbell, and then by the way, this is not a depth chart, by the way, guys. Just so you know, Hyatt, Shep, Beasley,
Crowder.
and Crowder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. But who am I missing? Am I missing anybody that?
The only person is Wandale, but you say he's not going to start off the season.
Yeah. Wandale's not going to start the season. So my thing is that Wandale's not going to start the season. I want these 7 because think about it. I mean, these guys consistently get open. Crowder is going to get open. Shep is going to be thrown on the outside. They're not going to put him in the slot. They're going to throw him on the outside. Beasley all right, he's going to make the roster, but I think the argument right now is Crowder. We need veteran presence, more veteran presence on this offense, man. We just need more guys that are going to be getting. Jamison Crowder showed me that even in tight spaces, he has the speed and the hands and the experience. Bro, he was sunning people. Like not only Beasley, Crowder was doing it too. Crowder and Beasley were the best part of the offense the whole game. So, I mean, we'll see what happens. Per sources, Wandale is going to be coming off the pump before the season starts. Surprising what my sources. Trust me, bro. Yeah, he got hurt in November. There's just no way they rush him back, bro. There's just no.
I was gonna say,
yeah.
I was gonna say real quick to the chat. I see the trolling gaming god. A lot of it is hilarious. I'm not gonna lie to you. I kind of laughed on the inside with it. And then I kind of agree with John Doe, bro. Crowder, I don't really see him bringing as much as I see Cole Beasley bringing, which is why I have Cole Beasley as like.
Why I have them? You know why I have them? Because all these guys get hurt. You want when these guys get hurt, I want them. I want the production to be the same.
Legitimate question: do you not think he'll survive through cuts and we could put him on the practice squad?
Who? Crowder?
Yeah.
Hell no. The thing is, we might have to. Okay, if we keep him on the roster now, and then when Wandale comes back, we're talking probably October, November, right? Maybe October if they want to rush it. They had no reason to rush him back. That's the thing. We have so many wide receivers we don't know what to do with them. So he might be. Let's say to be safe, November he comes back. By that time, mid-season, we'll put him on the practice squad. He may survive on the practice squad a little bit, but he only needs to survive 2 more months before the season's over. I mean, January is going to come around, yeah, but we should probably already have like a good set of who's going to be out there. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully there's no injuries, but just in case there is injuries, I want a guy like Crowder there. And I know a lot of people are going to throw out the whole special teams thing and put Colin Johnson in there or Bryce Ford Wheaton because he's not going to survive the practice squad. I mean, so what? I mean, Bryce Ford Wheaton, I'm sorry, he's not special. I'm looking at this guy on film. I watched him in college. I try to trust what you guys were saying about Bryce Ford Wheaton. He looks good, but he does not have good hands. He's like another Slayton. He's a fast guy with not good hands who's a decent route runner, not great. But I mean, yes, he's a project. He's a guy that has high upside, but he's not a guy I'm willing, bro. This isn't about developmental season, bro. We are trying to win right now. All right, we're trying to get in the playoffs and start winning. I want top to bottom on my depth chart, the most talented receiver you can get. And
well, the most talented people you can get the Kresley super chat before we
course.
move on.
Yeah, of course. But I mean receivers and more specifically. But Kresley, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. He says one of the best shows on YouTube. I appreciate that, my friend.
Appreciate it,
Thanks
man.
for being an inspiration to all of us guys who have smaller channels on the platform. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much. We just
yeah. I know I completely forgot to do the call-in show yesterday, guys.
Look at this guy.
I'm still getting back to it.
Look at this guy.
I'm still getting back to it because I know a lot of the reasons people like other than connecting with the community. I had people reach out to me because like they were and this is not me patting my own shoulder to my own horn or anything. It's just legitimately people reach out to me and like they thank me because they're like I gave them a little bit of a space as small as it is on YouTube to get their own channel started and stuff like that. And I appreciate that. So I will try my best to get it back for next week. Your boy is job hunting, bro. So a lot of these nights, I'm literally just sending out apps.
His life is starting, guys.
Literally just exactly. I'm literally sending out apps, man.
He's trying to spread his wings and fly.
The only way I'm working for USPS is if I'm down in Florida, but I don't see that happening anytime soon. Getting back to your comment, both piggybacking off of that KB and getting back to the offensive line, because Ravon did bring up the interior line, and we really kind of touched on it briefly, but we didn't get into it. We touched on it with Ben Bredesen. Somebody else they're high on, it seems, according to several reports, it seems like the Giants, not necessarily us, are high on Josh Azudu, who's somebody I was high on last year when he came out of college. I wasn't necessarily disappointed with what he gave us, considering he was, I think, a third or fourth round pick. I was like, it was okay, could have been better. But apparently the Giants have a lot of faith in Azudu, and I have seen like speculation that he might be a starting potential guard. I think I might have saw that from Art Stapleton. I don't want to misquote though.
I think that is I've been paying attention to the position of battles, and Azudu has been like rotating with Bredesen throughout camp. Bredesen has been more consistently playing that left guard position, but they have been flirting with putting Bredesen at right guard. Glowinski was the backup, and then Azudu was left
As the
guard.
left. Yeah.
But watching Azudu on film last game, like I wasn't impressed too much. There were good plays, there were bad plays.
I'm wondering if they're seeing something that obviously we aren't. Like, there's got to be something in camp.
I think they're trying to force. I think they're trying to force Glowinski out. That is what I'm thinking.
Well, he had a out after the second year either way.
I think they're trying to throw out their best five out there. I think that's what they're trying to do, and they're really trying to see if Azudu has what it takes. Because if Azudu winds up being a better player than Glowinski is right now, which is weird to say because Glowinski was a priority free agent, man, and he just, man, it's crazy. But
you could highlight that name is, I don't know if that name is something. That's a great comment though. Because I want to say this, they technically weren't drafted that far apart, but trust me, one of them was way better than the other coming out. Like JMS was regarded as the best interior lineman for a long time with this draft. Josh Azudu was never close to that.
We're in the same chat.
That's what I'm saying. Like Josh Azudu was not close to that. The only thing close about them was the draft position. JMS, like center is very undervalued in the draft. We saw it several years in a row. Like look at Creed Humphrey going at the end of the third round. If centers went like as good as players they were, you'd see a lot more centers going in the first round.
Yeah. I mean, like, Biotish also went in the fourth, and he's a good center for
love the Biotish, man. He went to the Cowboys, right?
Yeah.
And the same thing with Landon Dickerson, the one I wanted that the Eagles took.
He went to Philly. Yep. I think he's playing guard right now.
There was that one. Was it last year or the year before? Like around Creed Humphrey. I think the year before Creed.
It was
Humphrey.
Landon. It was Landon with Creed. Landon went with Creed. It was like those two.
But the year before Creed Humphrey, there was another one that went in like the second round or something like that. He went to the Saints. Why am I forgetting him?
He went to the
I
Saints.
know you know who I'm talking about because the Saints took him in the second round.
I think you might be talking about the guy they took in the second round, like back in 2018. That was Cesar Ruiz.
Was that really that far ago? Let me
Yes.
see. Yeah, Cesar Ruiz is who I was talking about.
Yeah, yeah,
That was
yeah.
not 2018.
Yeah, the Saquon's draft.
No, it was not. Let's see.
It
Cesar
was.
Ruiz.
I was living in my
2020. That's what I thought. 2020. That was the year before.
Cesar Ruiz?
Yeah.
I'm bugging.
Yeah, because I was like, I did YouTube when he was
Okay, bet.
drafted. Yeah.
Bet.
But no, but that all brings it back to like
I don't
centers are
know.
very undervalued in the draft, man. There's some of the best
Yeah.
guys in there, but they're gonna be taken relatively later.
Yeah, but as far let's think about like nicer times, okay? Well, actually, to wrap up offense, because I was gonna move.
Yeah, because the nicer things are on the defensive
Yeah,
side.
yeah. To wrap up the offense, the big thing to talk about is Jalen Hyatt. I don't want anybody to get down on Jalen Hyatt. If you guys haven't been paying attention to my channel, I've been posting all 22, no commentary, just straight all 22 of like film for you guys to watch. So far, I did both Deontay Banks and Trey Hawkins together at the same time, and you guys really love that one. You guys really love the JMS one. I was going to do a Jalen Hyatt one, but he barely played. But if you guys really want it, I'll put it. But Jalen Hyatt was getting open consistently. He just wasn't being thrown the ball. And then he had one reception for -4 yards because it was the most obvious wide receiver screen I've ever seen in my life. I don't know why they called that play. And then it ruined his debut, bro. I really wanted him to at least get some positive yards. He left with less yards than he got there
Good
with.
thing it's not his like official
Yeah,
debut.
good thing it's not official. Oh man, just
Because
like
he was getting open, but it goes back to what we were saying. Like there was like a negative performance from the offensive line, so they didn't really have any chance to throw it at him.
Yeah, so that just sucked. And he only had 2 drives, so then he came out.
And I don't want to rag on, what I'm saying, Tyrod Taylor, who still I think is one of the better backups in the league. But man, Tommy DeVito really outplayed you, man.
Let
Tommy
me tell you
DeVito
something, man.
looked great.
DeVito was slinging, and here's the thing:
Is he related to Danny DeVito? Do we know?
I don't even know. I was wondering that as well. Here's the thing about DeVito. I had a problem with calling him Mike DeVito, and I don't know why I keep doing that. It's Tommy DeVito, Tommy. But I try not to, like, when it comes to undrafted free agents, I try not to overhype them when I watch them on film because it's like they went undrafted for a reason. So there's got to be issues. But when I watched him, I only had Syracuse film from him, even though he was from Illinois, but he had transferred to Illinois from Syracuse. He was good. Like I was like, yo, like this guy could have been drafted 5th, 6th round if you really wanted him. I don't know why he went undrafted. Now he didn't really possess anything special, but like, yo, his arm.
He wasn't the only undrafted QB that made some noise last week too. Nathan Rourke for the Jaguars.
Nathan Rourke, yeah, bro,
looked amazing.
Made the best play I've ever seen in preseason in my entire life.
Yeah.
Hey, can you name a better preseason play? This dude pulled off an Eli 2.0.
No, he pulled off a Patrick Mahomes, right? And Patrick Mahomes himself acknowledged it. He was like, "That was an awesome throw."
Yeah,
he was getting tackled down on one leg.
Escaping the pressure was like very Super Bowl 42-esque, but that was amazing to see. But
then
yeah.
Not necessarily an undrafted guy, but definitely a very late round guy at the quarterback position that also looked just really good. Dorian Thompson-Robinson for the Browns.
That's my guy.
There were a lot of like just guys that should have gone earlier that looked amazing.
I had in my, I keep muting my mic. I had in my my Giants mock draft DTR being drafted by us because I really wanted to see what he can do as a backup for us, man. That would be just awesome to have 2 running style quarterbacks that have an arm, like, and have. I mean, DTR has accuracy issues, but he's gotten so much better since his freshman year. But I really wanted DTR on this team because of his development, and I know Brian Dable will take him there. And when we get to the defensive side, I'll talk about another undrafted free agent I told the world about before we signed.
Well, I'm ready to go over there unless you got anything else to add.
Yeah, I'm ready to go over there. Let's go
ahead.
DeVito was great, but let's go to the defense. There is so much. This is the reason why I posted my defensive. I never posted an offensive film review because it was just too disgusting to watch. I didn't even want to do it. But the defensive film review, I loved it so much. There's so much things to take out of this, bro. First of all, the big thing, first and foremost, probably the biggest thing to take away from the defense, Deontay Banks and Trey Hawkins. Man, Did
Is it
they?
time to legitimately hop on the Trey Hawkins train, KB? Just
Oh,
answer that real
hold
quick.
on, hold on, hold on.
Is it?
I got a video for that, bro. Don't.
Oh,
Wait,
I
wait.
mean, we got to talk about it as well, but go ahead.
Well, but Deontay Banks and Trey Hawkins, man, they played fantastic. Here's the thing: a lot of people are gonna get on Trey Hawkins because he allowed some catches. Yes, they were playing off man coverage. They were playing some deep zone, playing quarters. They were the Lions were smart enough to run some quick outs. Yeah, he basically gave up catches. Basically, what happened to James Bradbury in that 2020 year when everybody said he sucked. They were just playing soft zone and just allowing catches short, and he had to pick it up from there. That's pretty much what happened. But his closing speed was insane, bro.
He was booming guys too, bro. Him
He
and
was
Deontay actually.
yeah,
I
both
love
of
that
them.
about them. They
Both
were
of them,
booming them.
but Trey Hawkins' closing speed, I remember some wide receiver, I don't know which wide receiver it was, ran an out route, and there was 7 yards of separation between Trey Hawkins and the receiver. Trey Hawkins closed it in like a millisecond and tackled him with no yak yardage. Trey Hawkins, I think, allowed maybe a yard combined of yak yardage throughout all of his allowed catches. I'm dead serious. As soon as players called the ball on Trey Hawkins, he tackled them. And so I that's awesome to see. I love that from Trey Hawkins, the hustle. And Wink had a lot to say about it. But after the recap, when we start talking about into next week, we're going to talk more about Trey Hawkins and possibly
And then go off on Deontay Banks. Listen, I know people are gonna say, and I saw it on Twitter, and you know what, KB, it's a point I'm very on the fence about because I could agree with it, and that is the Jameson Williams keeping up with his speed. Yeah, Jamo's coming off that injury, and it's like, so on some level I could agree with maybe he's not as fast as he used to be, but on another level, I'm like he still looked fast, and Deontay Banks was still step for step
talking
with
about
him.
that infamous play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Basically almost everything where it was man on man, he was like right by the receiver.
Yo, you know what I should do? I just noticed something. Next week, I used to do my film reviews before we even do this show. Next week, I'll cut up parts of my film review that's parts that I really want to like talk about, and I'll put it in here so like I can show people at the same time. We could like go over it together. Deontay Banks in that play, I broke down that play. Deontay Banks in that play, he did let off a step on Jameson Williams, but his technique of defending the pass was like pitch perfect. Like it was so perfect you couldn't have replicated it. What happened was, and I thought Nick Villado touched on this a little bit as well. Okay, so he had a step on Jameson Williams, but it was almost like he gave it up on purpose, which is weird to say, but he was basically watching Jameson the entire time, watching his eyes, watching his body language, and Jameson Williams made the mistake of putting his hands up way too early, which gave the signal that the ball was coming. Yeah. Deontay Banks looked at the ball for a split second, looked back at Jameson Williams. As soon as the ball touched Jameson Williams' hand, granted, Jameson did not catch it, but what Deontay Banks did was take both of this guy's arms and lock it at the angle here where the elbow is at and pull down on his side. So even if Jameson Williams caught that ball, and this is in real time, like freaking think how fast these players are moving, how fast he did that. And he was able to grab his arms and bring them back. There was no way Jameson Williams was going to complete that catch. Even if he initially caught that
Steve
ball.
Out here with the name of the technique.
It would have been, wait, what do you say? I'll say the technique is the best technique, especially if you're a faster corner. Trail technique. Yeah, trailing. Yeah, it's basically like baiting. You're basically like trailing this guy on purpose. You're not really catching up to him so you can make a play on the ball. Yeah. So
and Gaming God,
it was great. It was fantastic.
I saw your comment on Jalen Hyatt. I don't think anybody is necessarily gassing him up too much. Maybe if you're only on Twitter, probably, but like the majority of the fan base, I think should have realistic expectations with Jalen Hyatt. If anything, I would say we shouldn't be gassing up Trey Hawkins that much, but he continues to prove.
Who's he talking about?
Jalen Hyatt.
Oh, he's talking about Jalen Hyatt.
If anything, I was gonna say fans are gassing Hawkins too much, but as we just said and as we just saw, like he continues to give us reasons to be hopeful for him.
Call me crazy. I don't think it's a joke anymore.
You don't think that's what I'm saying? Like, is it time?
I don't think it's a joke anymore. Watching this guy on film, if you would watching this guy on film, I am not over exaggerate. I try not to be biased when it comes to this, but I swear, I was watching my film. I'm like, bro, this guy could have been drafted like second round, bro. I swear, like Tariq Woolen, bro. I didn't want to say it. I didn't want to say it, but this
Do
guy
you
should have
okay?
been
To be
drafted,
fair,
bro.
it's really the best comparison we have because it's the last late round corner, literally last year that was great.
But their
But
measurables
Tariq
are
Woolen was
their
almost
measure.
defensive rookie of the year. Do you think he's that level?
I don't really know what
I think it'd be really good.
the thing is here's the thing with Tariq Woolen and Hawkins. They are very similar measurables. Their measurables are extremely similar to each other, and their speed is very similar to each other. I think Woolen was faster. I think he ran like a 4.2. And Hawkins ran a 4.3, but they're very close to each other. The thing is with Woolen that separates himself from Hawkins is that Woolen is a crazy ball hawk. Like Woolen is he uses his length to his advantage, and he makes a play on the ball. I think Woolen's more stickier in coverage. And I think he utilizes his height more. Hawkins is getting there, but for a 6th round pick, this guy is showing skills of being like a second rounder, bro. I'm telling you, I don't want to like stretch it down and say first rounder, but when I was watching this guy on film, like he was playing like he was a 2nd round pick. Like he was when he did allow catches, he didn't like beat himself up. He didn't get like, damn, I allowed a catch. I'm going to make a lazy tackle. He allowed a catch, did not allow any yak yardage, and laid the boom on these receivers, bro.
And going to our actual first round pick, our first round corner.
Deontay.
I hope all these Giants fans that were legitimately worried about Deontay and were like already starting to get on his bad side, calm down. We've been told y'all, and any Giants fans with common sense told y'all, calm down. He got the entire season to do something, and he was great in the preseason debut.
Did not allow a catch, had like 2 pass breakups. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Was his film perfect? No, it wasn't. But the times that he was beat, he was not targeted. That probably means that when the quarterback looked at the wide receiver's way, he was currently covered. He moved on to his next progression. So that's all you need sometimes. But I'm not giving excuses to him. I think Deontay Banks needs to work on opening up his hips a little. Like he opens up his hips a little too fast, and receivers are able to shift directions on him, and he takes a little bit of time to catch up. But there was a fantastic play that blew up on Twitter of him running a comeback route for one of the receivers. Like it looked like he was the wide receiver on the play. It looked like that wide receiver was the corner on the play, and he was the wide receiver. Crazy. Deontay Banks played a fantastic game as well, man. Those 2 corners are, I think, they're the future, bro. I think next year, 2024, they are starting boundary corners. That's what.
And then I know that you thought you could avoid it, KB, but last week when we spoke about our safety group and I brought up a certain someone, this man went right ahead and showed why I brought his name up. Can you, not me, can you tell them who I praised last week? And
you're about to be so mad at me. You're about to be so mad at me.
Who proceeded to have a good game?
Yeah.
Just say the name. I don't want to hear it. Just say the name.
Dane Belton.
Right?
Yeah.
Dane Belton.
Can I tell you something?
And in addition to Dane Belton, Jason Pinnock.
Yeah, Pinnock.
Pinnock had the most efficient 5 great snaps of the preseason of my life, bro. He did so much in 5 snaps. Before we get to your hating of Dane Belton, let's talk about Jason Pinnock real quick before we get to your haterisms for Dane Belton.
Yeah, so let's talk.
What was the stat? Like 5 snaps, a pass breakup, an interception, and like something else that filled in the rest. And a tackle for loss. Yeah,
he was on a safety blitz and tackled the running back. So, yeah, he was fantastic. Jason Pinnock, I think, clearly is your safety too. And I'm not gonna lie, I think Dane Belton, even besides because we're gonna get into the interception, you're not gonna like me, but when I break it down, but Dane Belton,
but
besides that interception,
first for Pinnock though.
Yeah. Besides that, I'm just like giving a little general statement. Besides the interception, Dane Belton played very well. Very well. I'm pleased with him. But as far as Pinnock goes, he has solidified that safety 2 spot. Fantastic read on that first play of the game. It was cover 1. You had Trey Hawkins. By the way, Trey Hawkins, if Pinnock was not there, Trey Hawkins was getting the interception. He broke on that route so perfectly on that fly route. He got on the inside of that errant throw because Timon Fox was there to force the pass, and it was a terrible pass because the quarterback was hit as he threw. But Pinnock was able to go from center field and perfectly time that ball to intercept it. And like I said, if Pinnock wasn't there, it still would have been an interception from Trey Hawkins. So that would have been fun to see as well. But Pinnock was great. Then the second great play he had, it was a tackle for loss on a running back on a safety blitz. And then the third play that he had that pretty much ended his day was the pass breakup on 4th down. Fantastic play. Bobby McCain saw the crossing route. He let Pinnock know.
Another safety, by the way, which is in the running very much for that second starting safety job.
I think Bobby McCain's in the running for slot corner. That's what I think. I think he's in the running. I think they're gonna work him out. I think he's gonna get some rep. I don't think he's gonna be a starting guy. I think he's gonna get.
I could definitely see him getting reps. Yeah.
Yeah, I could definitely see him there because he played.
To be honest with you, there's gonna be a lot of people just like the wide receiving group on the secondary that's gonna just get reps at other positions.
Yeah. So Bobby McCain there, he played well, but he let Jason Pinnock know that there was a crossing route. He said, "You pick him up. I'll pick up the other guy coming over to me." And Pinnock took that, and he trailed the tight end. It was Sam Laporta, the rookie, and Sam Laporta should have caught that ball. I mean, shout out, Nate Sudfeld played a terrible game, but he threw that. That was the one good pass he threw, and that should have been caught. Sam Laporta had it in his chest, and he couldn't come down with it because Jason Pinnock punched the ball out as he was falling to the ground. It was fantastic play. So shout out to Jason Pinnock there. He is safety too.
And then go ahead, man. What you got for Dane Belton, bro? What'd he do? What crime did he commit?
No, he didn't commit a crime. He was assisted in the crime. That's what it was.
My God, bro. Go ahead, bro.
You know who he was assisted by? Did you watch that? Did you watch that play? That ball wouldn't have been thrown so high if it wasn't for the King Mike McFadden. King Mike McFadden.
So it's Dane Belton's fault that he just does his job?
No, it's not his fault. No, it's not his fault. It's teamwork. It's teamwork.
What's the negative here?
No negative. I said you're gonna hate me because I think Mike and McFadden.
I'm not gonna hate you.
I think Mike and McFadden was.
I'm not gonna hate you. I just want to hear you praise Dane Belton real quick.
Yeah. Dane Belton. First of all, shout out to Dane Belton for breaking on that ball and recognizing that crossing route because it was like cover. I think it was cover 3. And he came up from center field and broke on that ball and was there for interception. Right place, right time. But what really happened? No joke. I'm trying not to over exaggerate.
No, you got it. So Micah McFadden. I'll say it, bro. Micah McFadden played a great game of football.
He did.
Micah McFadden.
Yo, Nick Filato is a believer, bro. Great. And I feel like me and Nick Filato look alike, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. I feel like I could be his little brother or anything. But shout out to Nick Filato, bro. I would love to freaking do a collab with you, bro. But what happened on that play?
Yes.
So it was Carter Coughlin and Micah McFadden both together, and it was a play action. They both went down for the play action, but rather than what they've been doing lately and just biting on play action, they've been biting on play action all game in that game. But in this particular instance, they both back up, which is great. Micah McFadden takes it upon himself. He recognizing that somebody's crossing way behind him, and he starts strafing back, and it forces that quarterback to try to throw over him. And that quarterback, Nate Sudfeld, was way too under pressure. Shout out to the D-line giving that pressure. Way too pressure. He stepped up in the pocket and made a throw way over the head of Jameson Williams. And Williams had to try to jump to get that ball. So how high was it? He wasn't even able to get it. And right in the breadbasket to Dane Belton. So shout out to Micah McFadden for forcing that, because if he wasn't there, if he would have bit on that play action and he was not in his zone and even took it upon himself to go farther back in his zone, that would have been a straight line drive to Jameson Williams, because Deonte Banks, that was one of the plays that he did get beat on. He did get beat on that play. He probably would have gave up a catch there. But it all happened very fast. But who knows if Jameson Williams would have came up with it. But he had a step on Banks on the cross.
And I'll say this. Y'all know I love me some Darren Beavers, but I've seen nothing but good things out of Micah McFadden.
Oh, we're gonna get into Micah McFadden in a second.
I'll say this, the coaches still love Darren Beavers too.
No, not with Winks. Did you see the Winks? Did you see Winks press conference? Don't worry, I got the clip.
Listen, bro. Listen, you got the clip? Do you have it loaded up, or you got to upload it?
Yeah,
you got to load it up. Listen, Wink can say whatever he wants. Wink can say whatever he wants.
Wink can say whatever he wants. I don't listen to Wink.
I'm listening to Bobby Okereke. I'm listening to the actual middle linebacker. You know what he said about Darian Beavers? He just got a certain swag to his game that McFadden doesn't have.
He did
All
not
right.
say that McFadden does not have
They
swag.
they asked him out of like the two young guys because they're competing, what play style do you prefer? He was like, Micah is great because he brings the boom and he has the fundamentals down and whatnot, but Beavers got that swag too.
I'm sorry.
Beavers,
Fundamentals and got that boom is a
Beavers.
lot better than swag in football. I mean, just saying,
Listen,
more useful.
word for I kid you not, word for word, Bobby Okereke said Darian Beavers
I'm gonna
was the
listen to
best
my. I'm
young.
gonna listen to my
He was
defensive
the
coordinator.
best young middle linebacker he ever saw. It was the greatest trade in history of trades. All right.
Right.
Go ahead and play the clip, bro.
Right. No, we're gonna get into that later after we talk about the next, the next week.
Oh,
But
what's the next topic?
the next topic is just looking forward to the Panthers, who on like who to watch and stuff like that. So, and then we're gonna talk about some roster stuff in a second. But just we're gonna wrap up the defense. Is there anything else to talk about on defense? Okay, the defensive line.
Lack. I was gonna say lack of production from backup D line, or what did you think of the
I
production?
I
Just
thought
good
the D.
enough.
I actually thought the D line played well. Um, I actually thought all of them played well. Kobe Smith was really good. Yo, Kobe Smith on film, every time he stopped the run, I was dying because he would go like this on the floor. Nope, not on me. Every single time he made a tackle, it's hilarious to see. But Kobe Smith, Bauer was good forcing pressure. How about my guy, undrafted free agent, Habakkuk Baldonado? Okay, I was talking
Since
about.
when was that your guy? I feel like this is the first time I've heard you mention him.
Bro, he was in my mock draft. He was in my mock draft, my 5th round selection. And I've been pounding in the 5th round. I said it on Twitter on the 5th round when we were in the 5th. I said we need to draft Habakkuk Baldwin. I even said it on the Talking Giants because I wasn't live. I was in the stream of the Talking Giants stream. I was posting in the comments. Bobby was like, "Who the hell is Habakkuk Baldonado?" I said, "Bro, we got to draft him in the 5th. We didn't draft him, but we picked him up as an undrafted free agent." And I was so happy about it. And he is showing his ability. He's an Italian. He's from Italy. He never played football until like his last year in high school, where he transferred to America in his last year to play football. He practiced football in Italy, and he's still learning the game in Pittsburgh. When he went to Pitt. Came in here and he's playing phenomenally. He had 2 sacks. I don't care what the refs say. The refs took away the first one because apparently he was too rough on the quarterback. My man, he had 2 sacks in 2 straight plays. Okay, and he had also a batted pass as well. So amazing. I mean, not a batted pass. What was it? Hit as he threw, but he hit the arm of the quarterback. He forced a bad throw. He forced a duck. So great. So Habakkuk Baldonado played well. Kobe Smith played well. Trent Bauer played well. The other offensive lineman, I'm forgetting his name, 71. If you guys could remind me who 71 is, he played well. Jordan Riley,
I was gonna say our draft pick.
Yes, our draft pick Jordan Riley was lighting it up, bro. He looked like, I'm sorry, the other 95 we used to have.
Is his name pronounced Jordan? Like, is there a reason
I
you're
just
saying
say
that way? It's not
Jordan Riley
Jordan.
or Jordan. I don't know. It's spelled with an O instead of an A. So people were saying Jordan. So I don't know. But Jordan, I'll say it's Jordan Riley. He reminds me, even I don't know if it's because he wore 95, but he reminds me of BJ Hill. Like, he's bigger than BJ Hill. But the fact of how big,
Man,
how strong
that's
he was
a
to
name
get
I haven't
around.
thought about for a couple of years because we sent him to Cincinnati. I loved BJ Hill, man.
Their body type isn't quite the same because BJ Hill is I think BJ Hill is smaller but thicker. No, like he's like more slimmer. He's a little bit more athletic. But one, because I said thick. Oh my god.
I didn't say anything.
but Jordan Riley is just bigger. He's a straight up nose tackle, but he has like that pass rush ability to get around, but he's not like Dex at all. But he has like that pass rush ability to get around and really disrupt the interior of the pocket and force a quarterback out. So I really like Jordan Riley's game. Anyone else? Like I said, Habakkuk Baldonado absolutely balled out. He had 2 sacks in that game. That was great to see. I can't believe I didn't even mention this. My favorite part of the third team guys, Javarius Owens, our other draft pick, that safety, laying the boom.
Another our safety.
Bro, he
group,
was reading the field. He was reading the field like he knew the plays, bro. reading the field like he knew the play. It was fantastic because he almost had an interception on the crossing route as well. And Alex Cook, the undrafted free agent safety from Washington. As you got, I love Washington defensive backs. They just have a great understanding of zone coverage, and he continued to show that. But yeah, that's pretty much all I have for the defense. Great.
And I will say this. So last week when we spoke, you said you were worried about our pass defense because we lacked Julian Love, and you were speaking specifically to the safety position. Has that changed in just 1 week? Do you think?
As far as the what do you mean?
So last week when we were talking about pass defense specifically,
about
the safety group and the loss of Julian Love.
Yeah.
Has that changed in the week? Because now you're like, yo, listen, we actually got some guys, bro.
I needed to see more, and these young guys, bro. I mean,
bro, we literally have like 4 guys competing for a starting safety spot, which is crazy.
We'll see what happens, but like I think Bobby McCain could like play that Julian Love role just as good as Julian Love can. I really think so. And like to have safety depth, like I don't know if Alex Cook is gonna make the team, but he's pretty damn good. And I love Washington defensive backs. Like you gotta keep Alex Cook somehow. But Javarius Owens was great as well. Like we're set. We're very good as far as depth goes. Like these guys are young, developing. Even though that's kind of not what we want right now, but it's all we have. And these guys have very high upside. So, all right. So what I want to do is move on to. We kind of talk about wide receivers and then how that's going. But I just wanted to I just wanted to bring this up. Get ready.
I tell you, I thought Micah played really well in the game, and he did a lot of good things. And I think that, like this is truly Beaver's rookie year, because of the ACL, and he's missed so many practices that, that Micah's got a year under his belt. And, it's good competition that Micah's definitely leading right now.
Micah's definitely leading right now.
He literally just said this is Beaver's rookie year.
Yeah,
of course he's going to be.
Yeah,
of course Micah's going to be leading. If Micah wasn't leading, I'd be worried.
Let me tell you something right now. This man right here, Micah. By the way, he deboed Beaver's number. You see this? This used to be Beaver's number. He said, "Boy, you trash. Give me your number."
Beavers was how? Wait. First of all, pause.
They switched
because I pause. Because I've never been disrespectful to Michael McFadden, but you were just disrespectful to Darian Beavers. I need you to apologize.
You weren't disrespectful to Michael McFadden. Don't even start.
I need you to apologize.
Don't even start.
I need you to apologize. I've never said Michael McFadden was trash. You just said Darian. You just said Darian Beavers was trash.
Bro.
I've never done that.
I don't. I could swear you have, bro. I can bet you.
I haven't.
Bro. Not today, but definitely.
I've kept it civilized. I've all I've ever said was that I believe Darian Beavers is the better player. And you know what? There's still a chance for me to be proven right, bro. Nobody needs that ugly number anyway. 41.
Here's the thing.
43? You know who wore 41?
43.
And Antoine. That safety we had. Antoine.
You know who also won 41? DRC. So
DRC was good for 1 year with us, bro.
Did you say 1 year? Are you crazy?
With us.
We had him since 2014, 15.
And let's keep it real.
He's been great all the whole time.
No.
Yes.
He was great 1 year. He was great 1 year. He was good for the other 2 years. There's a difference.
Just because he didn't have 6 interceptions means that he was not good. DRC was like literally good, bro.
43 is a better number than 41. It's literally
everybody
43
right now.
is greater.
Everybody
than
put in the
41.
comments right now. What number is better looking, 41 or 43? Go ahead.
Look, bro, I'm about to look this up. Great NFL players.
War 43.
At war.
We're gonna
43.
Put like, what's his name? Burr. That freaking. What's his name? Jameer Burr.
I just found the best one. Troy Polamalu, 43.
Okay.
What are you gonna say to that?
Look up 41 numbers. Look up 41 numbers.
I'm not done. Troy Polamalu. Let's see who else. I have no idea who that is.
NFL player.
I have no idea who that is. Darren Sproles wore 43.
Yeah. For all the
teams.
Hey.
Wow, I'm gonna keep it real. I don't know any other of these players.
Let's see.
That's
best.
Right, guys, I was.
Bro,
come on,
we
guys.
got
I was capping with DRC. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was capping with DRC.
Yeah, you were capping, bro. You crazy.
We're looking for defensive players. Excuse me.
Oh, we are. Anyway, screw that. Anyway, here's the topic, man. Here's the thing.
Yeah.
truly, I think Micah McFadden is fitting into his role at inside linebacker too very, very well. He held him, bro. He was, first of all, he was one of the 2 highest graded defenders by PFF from the Giant defenders. It was him and Jason Pinnock. And Micah McFadden, I think, is very impressive because he played a lot more than Pinnock did. So there's a lot more to average out. And he was at a 90.5 or something like that, 90.3, 90.5, something like that. He was great. Blitzing, coverage, everything. He's fitting into his role very, very nicely. Here's the thing, and I'm serious. I think Micah McFadden, it doesn't matter if Darian Beavers is getting better, because Micah McFadden, I think that he's going to be like good enough that they're not going to switch him. Like, they're not going to take him out. He's already fitting into that role very well, and I think he's a good match with Okereke. I think he's a good match.
And I will say, in that same interview that I saw Okereke talked about, he was obviously fundamentals is what you want. He definitely seemed to hint that he preferred playing with Michael McFadden a little bit. The guy,
they switched number because he stole it from him.
I'm just done, bro.
Keep going with your point.
No, I'm done, bro. I've been so respectful to Michael McFadden the entirety of his career, and you just hate Darren Beavers just like you hated Daniel Bellinger, just like you hated Dean Bolton. All right, you hate all the players that I like,
this man is spouting allegations. I didn't do it. Daniel Bellinger, are you crazy?
You hate all the players I like.
I've never hated a day in my life of Daniel Bellinger. Are you kidding me?
Listen.
This man's trying to get me like canceled by the Giants community.
Go back last year to the offseason when we drafted Daniel Bellinger.
Yeah,
you tell me who got more excited when talking about him.
I didn't know who he was.
Hate. How do you not know who he is?
That's hate. That's hate. That's hate.
All I'm going to say is the hate worked for Dane Belton.
Oh, God.
Continue to hate on Darren Beavers, because when you hate on a player, no joke, they do well. I'm just saying. They always do well.
I don't know.
Or most of the time they do well.
I don't know.
Maybe with the exception of Corey Cunningham. But getting back to it, Micah, he such a great what was he, 4th round? Do you remember what round Micah was? 5th round. And Beavers was 6th round, right?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, we're like one round after the other. We haven't seen BVS to say this, but Micah McFadden, also low-key a late-round gem. You know who he reminds me of, KB? Not in terms of play style, but just in terms of like almost immediate impact. We're talking like end of rookie year into sophomore year. Somebody that was really good for us literally just a couple of years ago, bro.
Who?
I'm forgetting his name, but I called him Baby Luke Kuechly because I was hyping him up.
On our team?
Guy. Yeah, the bald middle linebacker that we drafted in 2019 that we literally traded to the Vikings in 2021.
Oh, Ryan Connolly. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people compared it to him.
In terms of impact, not in terms of play style.
Right. Yeah, you're right. As far as impact, I think you're absolutely right about that. Ryan Connolly went from like a depth linebacker piece to like, damn, he could probably start. Like, yeah, I agree with you as far as impact goes. I think Micah McFadden is better because he's faster. He's a little small. Here's the thing about Micah McFadden. He is undersized, okay? But for whatever reason, he like throws his body weight around that. He plugs the gaps and plays the run extremely well for his size. He's just like a little rocket. I think he's like 6'1". I could be mistaken. 6 foot, 6'1". A little undersized. As far as weight goes, I think he's like 240, something like that. But he should probably be a little bigger. But yeah. Micah McFadden is the guy. But let's just move on to the next one. And this is what I really wanted to talk about. So
we've obviously seen Adoree in the slot a bunch, right? Would you consider doing that full time, for lack of a better term? Is that something?
Which side? Yo, can you play the clip, bro? Can you play the clip? This man's dying.
We've obviously seen Adoree in the slot a bunch, right? Would you consider doing that full time, for lack of a better term? Is that something that you're at least contemplating at this point? We've obviously seen Adoree in the slot a bunch, right? Would you consider doing that full time, for lack of a better term? Is that something that you're at least contemplating at this point?
Jordan, you know me, you saw some different things out there that you're like, what is he doing? I mean, we consider everything. I think when you go into these games, you want to play, you know, in any sub package, you want to play your 3 best corners. And right now, those are our 3 best corners. So,
Are you good? Are you good, bro? Are you good?
I didn't even change the freaking lower third.
This man is dying over here. Out of nowhere. What are you? Wait. What are they talking about? What is chat talking about right now? What is chat talking about right now, bro? Yo, chat, is this real? What are y'all? Can you describe to me what you're talking about?
For those of you guys that don't know how StreamYard works, when we play these videos, we can still see each other from backstage, and this man was just going in on this mic. Bro, he was using the 2-hand twisty. 3000.
Let me know when you got proof, because these allegations are wild.
Oh my gosh.
Oh man, let me know when you got proof, bro.
This
These
man
allegations are wild.
This man was putting passion in it. All right.
Weird allegations.
Oh man, my bad, guys. Oh god, I'm sorry. Okay, Trey Hawkins. You heard what the man said. If you guys weren't distracted, he said from his own mouth that Trey Hawkins was one of the 3 best corners on the entire team. He says we're gonna play our best 3, and right now, those are our best 3. So it's very telling that we may see, this may be more real than we thought. We may see a Trey Hawkins, Deontay Banks, and Adoree Jackson trio at cornerback. It is very, very close to that. If they go out there and play these next 2 preseason games very well, Trey Hawkins more specifically, you may see Adoree shift in the slot, and they may try to, because listen, this is not development time. This is go time. If this 6th round pick is doing better than everybody else, then he's going out there. We're trying to win championships. So listen, man, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. What's your thoughts?
I'm all for it as well. I think it's been enough time for the coaches for them to see week 1. If they've just been consistently seeing good performances from Banks in camp, good technique from Banks in camp. They obviously haven't been disappointed with how he's played to the extent Giants fans have, because they've been throwing the kitchen sink at him with good reason. What they've been doing to Deontay Banks in camp, KB, reminds me of what... Yo, come on, bro.
Sorry. I gotta hide the chat. I'm sorry. Go ahead. What they've been seeing with
What was the last thing I said, KB?
What they've been seeing with Deontay Banks or Trey Hawkins?
What they've been doing to the Deontay Banks in camp this offseason reminds me of what Brian Daboll did to Daniel Jones last offseason. Remember when Brian Daboll had the defense know every single play Jones was doing just so that he could see how he would respond and if he could adapt to it? I'm not saying that's exactly the same thing what they've been doing to Deontay Banks, but they've been putting him on our best wide receivers and like targeting him like a veteran QB in a game would target a rookie QB, a rookie CB for a reason. And they've obviously seen enough from him. And then Trey Hawkins literally just worked his way up from the bottom of the barrel all the way up to the first team in reps. If they've seen enough, and I think they have, and I think they have a big enough sample size, and they're going to get 2 more games of sample sizes, then yeah, roll with it. Because I'm already on the Trey Hawkins and Deontay Banks as starting corners train.
Yeah, I try not to over exaggerate, like overhype the situation because he was balling out in camp. Like, I got to see it for myself. I can't just flat out say, hey, because a 6th round rookie is playing well, because we've seen Corey Ballentine before. But listen, Corey Ballentine was not doing what Trey Hawkins is doing. So as far as that goes, I'm really looking forward to that. And as we transition to our week 2 sort of preview, who to watch, who you guys are watching, and who you should watch. I think first and foremost, it has to be the corner duo. Has to be them. We may see a little bit of Adoree. Oh my God, man! If we see the trio go out there and Adoree's in the slot, bro, I want to see that. It's the preseason. Let it happen, please.
Let it rip.
See that. I don't think Adoree would play too much because he's too valuable.
And you mentioned this earlier, but how much do you think
These
Our
starters
starters are really gonna get,
I
yeah.
think it depends. I think it depends on like Daniel. I think they're gonna want to give him something to do. He's probably gonna play the third. Okay, this is the second preseason game, but it would actually be like the third preseason game and like before the rules changed. And that's usually the dress rehearsal where the starters play like the majority of the game. But I just don't envision that happening because we have a lot of guys that are injury prone on the team, like especially our wide receiving core, Darren Waller, so and Evan Neal's coming off an injury. I definitely see them playing a couple. You're gonna see our guys out there. Maybe not every single one of our starters. I highly doubt Darren Waller plays. Maybe he'll play like a half a drive or something. But I barely doubt. I doubt he plays. But I really want to watch those two corners again. And I really want to watch our defensive line depth again. I really want to watch it because if we can get a strong rotation of defensive lineman players, man, nothing is impossible for this defense, bro. Like if we're able to give guys a rest and we bring in Jordan Riley, we bring in Kobe Smith, and I don't think Kobe Smith's gonna make the team. Let me forget about that. We've been Jordan Riley, Ashawn Robinson, Nacho, Habakkuk Baldonado. These guys come in and they just perform, close to the level that our starters are. Man, the sky's the limit, bro. Like if we can get a good rotation, look how the Eagles got like probably one of the best defensive lines of all time. Okay, last year that was like one of the best defensive line performances in a season of all time, and they did that because they have a strong rotation. All those guys' legs were fresh, and they were, nobody was getting tired out there. You didn't see fatigue because they always had a good rotation of guys. So I really want to see the defensive line more so like the edge rushers and maybe a little bit of the interior guys. But I don't think a lot of those interior guys, like those 13 guys, are going to make the team because Ashawn Robinson and Nacho are going to be there. And then you have Jordan Riley. So, but I really want to see the edge rush depth as well. And I really want to see Jalen Hyatt. I really want to see them use Jalen Hyatt a lot more. So those are my guys that I'm really looking at. What about you?
The guys I'm really looking at, I think would be extremely similar. A lot of the young guys, just like you listed. I'm still gonna be looking at the cornerback duo of Deontay Banks and Trey Hawkins. I'm still looking at the safety battle, even though at this point, I think just like you, KB, I think I might be satisfied if we just have like 2, 3, or maybe all 4 of those guys just rotate in next to Xavier McKinney, which might very well be what happens with that position. I'm still going to be looking at Jason Pinnock, still going to be looking at Dane Belton, still looking at Bobby McCain. I'm not too big on Javarius Owens. I'm not sure how big you are on him. But definitely like him as a rotational piece, potential backup. In terms of going down to defense here, middle linebacker wise, I guess I'm not motivated to look at that spot next to Bobby Okereke, and I feel weird saying that just because I feel confident in Micah McFadden, in Darian Beavers, to both of them equally play a part next to Bobby Okereke. But also, KB, call me weird. But in Wings defense, you really just need one like true middle linebacker. Like we saw it last year. There was a lot of safeties and corners on the field, and the safety came out to act as a linebacker. So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. At least based off of last year, and even like when he was with the Ravens, all you need is one true, really good middle linebacker, and he supplements that spot next to them. What do you think about that?
Yeah, you made a very good point, and that's something that we probably should address when we were talking about linebackers. Is that Wink uses safeties a lot. He utilizes a lot of safety. Like, so, dude, I told you about this. Sometimes he would throw out all of our safeties that we had in the entire depth chart. He would throw them out on the field in a defensive play, which is risky as hell. But he did so. Zach, is this the same Zach, the Colts fan, Zach? Is this the Colts fan, Zach? If it is, welcome back, brother. I haven't seen you in a while. But
and then I'll go ahead, wrap up, and then I'll continue going down to defense.
I just want to say, Wink loves safeties. He utilized it like back in Baltimore. He was all about safety. That's why Baltimore never really had, besides CJ Mosley, they never really had good.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
They never really had good. They always I remember Kamalai Correa. He was a defensive end from Boise State. I knew him because I'm a Boise fan. The Ravens drafted him. He was a defensive end. They transitioned this guy to inside linebacker. Okay, and he was starting for them. Okay, that's how bad it was. They don't really care about inside linebackers. But the thing is, now that Wink actually has some good inside linebackers, like I clown about Beavers all the time, but he's good. Okay, so all three of those guys, in my opinion, are going to get a lot of playing time. But here's the thing: the Giants, it seems like they still use a lot of nickel sets, like base nickel sets. So that's going to require 2 linebackers out there. I think is depending on the run or the pass. Like if it's a passing situation, like a deep passing situation, you can see Micah out there. If it's going to be like a short yardage where they're not blitzing with a short yardage, like run stopping, you're going to see Darian Beavers out there to get a little bit more muscle. Now I was here all last year, just didn't catch any lives. My work schedule. What's up, Zach? But I appreciate you, man. Appreciate you coming back over here, bro.
Always
Awesome
appreciate the support, man.
Always good to see you guys, man.
And I agree with you. That's why I brought up and I asked you. I mean, we saw even last year the amount of times Xavier McKinney was really the real quarterback of the defense last year. And to some degree, he still is. He still has a green dot on his helmet. Both him and Bobby Okereke had green dots on their helmets. So, yeah. And then going down from middle linebacker, not really too concerned about our defensive line. Very confident in that. Not anybody I'm really looking forward to watching that, or I should say, too interested in watching. When we flip to the offense, Jalen Hyatt, definitely want to see if he actually gets thrown the ball this time. But KB, I'm not concerned about the weapons as much as I am. What in the world are they going to do with the depth offensive line? That is the main thing, not only on offense, but everywhere on the team that I'm looking at.
Did you hear about the news that we signed Julian Davenport?
I did not know.
So he started a decent amount of games. Is he great? No, but I think he'll be a decent swing tackle. He has a lot of experience. I think he started over 30 games. I remember his name. Like I have like photographic memory. I remember him being on the Texans. I don't know if he's actually been on the Texans, but I think he's been on the Texans. I didn't look up right now. I didn't look up any information on him. But Julian Davenport, he started a decent amount of games, and the Giants brought him in a couple of days ago. And I'm A-okay. Yeah, he did play with the Texans. Nice. Texans, Dolphins, and Colts. And how many games did he start? They waived Troy Brown. What the fuck? Oh, I'm sorry. Why did they waive Troy Brown? They waived Troy Brown for this guy? Okay, well, I mean, I thought they should have waived Deontay Johnson, bro. He was garbage. The linebacker. They're both linebackers. Well, why did they get rid of Troy Brown? All right, but let me see. 28 years old, started 60 career games in 30. Oh, no. In 60 career games, had 32 starts. Okay, makes more sense. 4th round pick from the Houstons from 2017. So he's a decent. I think he'll be a decent swing tackle for us. I think we have our swing tackle. He started 30 games. More than half of his games were starts. And far as I know, he's not garbage. So I have a lot more confidence in him being a swing tackle than like randomly, drawing the name out the hat, whether it be Matt Peart, Tyree Phillips, or whoever else, So I'm good with that. But yeah, you're right. Like I don't know what the hell we're going to do with our offensive lineman depth. It's bad. We just really got to pray that these guys don't get hurt, man. We have to. If these guys get hurt, it's going to be an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But that being said, guys, leave your final thoughts, comments, concerns.
I was going to say my final thoughts, not necessarily related to the Giants, because whenever football season is here, there's going to be a lot of times I feel both me and you say, oh, this is probably my favorite part of the season. We're still technically we're not in the offseason. We're in the preseason. Hard Knocks is 2 episodes in. And for the first time in a while, KB, nobody really cares about Hard Knocks this year.
You know why?
I feel like a lot of it, my theory.
Because it's the Aaron Rodgers thing. That's why.
I was going to say, my theory is, I'm an Aaron Rodgers hater. I wasn't always an Aaron Rodgers hater.
Tell me you watched episode 1.
I didn't.
Bro, Aaron Rodgers is a cool ass dude, bro.
Let me maybe he is. I was gonna say I wasn't always an Aaron Rodgers hater. I became an Aaron Rodgers hater with the way he acted with Green Bay. I feel like it was unnecessary.
I'm
still gonna watch it.
Green Bay was terrible to him, bro.
I'm still gonna watch it, but I think the reason, my theory as to why Hard Knocks, bro, it's not just me. A lot of people are not interested in Hard Knocks this year, and like you see it across Twitter. Like you don't see anybody talking about it. I think the reason is because no team wanted to do Hard Knocks this year. Like, weren't the Jets forced to do it?
I don't know. I have
Like
no
they were basically forced by the NFL because Hard Knocks need to choose a team. Everybody declined that was eligible. I feel like that has. Tell me now, bro. You've seen like no type of interest from Hard Knocks on Twitter and stuff like that and
I
online.
have no idea. I have no idea. All I know is I love watching Hard Knocks. Even the Cardinals one, I loved watching that one too. The in-season one,
This isn't a hot take. I feel like it's just
better.
because we've gone to in-season one. It's better than the regular one.
Yeah.
But I want the regular one to make a resurgence.
Yeah. But bro, watch episode 1. Bro, did you know that the guy that played Sabretooth is the commenter, like the host?
Yeah, but only recently because I saw it on Twitter. I'm guessing that was had to be
he was there
in the first episode or something like that.
Yeah, he was
there.
there.
Yeah, because I saw it on Twitter randomly.
Because I think it was my post that I posted on. I'm like, yo, I did not know that about it. Like that's Sabretooth.
Sabretooth does not sound like Sabretooth.
It does not sound like Sabretooth. That's what I'm saying. Like he like deepens his voice. Like even when he was talking normally, like to Aaron and stuff like that. Because the reason why they brought him over is because Aaron Rodgers, like he said that he's a huge fan of Hard Knocks and that he loves he calls that guy's voice the voice of God. And so he said, like, he said, if we're gonna be on this show, like, I want to meet this guy. Like, I want to meet him. And he came off the helicopter. I'm like, is that Sabretooth? And that's only how I see him, bro. Because he just has that look. That's only how I see him as Sabretooth. So yeah, he was there, but I didn't know he was the commentator, man. That's pretty cool.
I don't want to get into a whole Hard Knocks analysis and why I very much notice people are not as interested in it as they have been in years past. I do think, and Yvette says that he does think the Jets were forced to do it. Like, so lack of team interest, I think, is a big part around it. But also because even though the Jets haven't been on it in a while, we keep almost getting the same teams, it feels like in a rotation of like every 5 to 6 years.
Because the teams that are eligible are constantly always eligible because they don't make the
exactly. So I'm like they need to change the eligibility thing for sure because nobody wants to see the same rotation of teams. And then 3, Yvette's also just brought up the quarterback documentary. Like there's legitimate alternatives that are just as good. Like that quarterback documentary was great and it was 8 episodes long. Yeah. Loved it. Hard Knocks is only like 5-6 episodes.
Oh, you know what's crazy?
Love the quarterback documentary.
Sabretooth actually asked Aaron on the Hard Knocks, why does no team ever want to go on Hard Knocks? And Aaron's like, oh, I mean, he brought up a good point. He's like, they just think it's a distraction. But like, honestly, if you're a good team, that shouldn't even distract you. Like, you're just having fun there, but you're still working. They still allow you to work. They're not gonna like pull you out of practice and be like, hey, what do you think about this funny joke? Like, no, like it's just.
I think it's less. I think it's less about that and probably more about the ownership thinking that, not the team itself.
Because remember, like for the Giants media, we do a Giants life. It's like Hard Knocks for the Giants. It's not as frequent, but it's the same thing. They're going in practice. They're going out of practice with these guys, like cameramen and producers and stuff like that, doing the same stuff.
Oh, and did you see the Giants profiles? Love that. They have a new series on the Giants channel, Giants Profiles. That first episode released. Evan Neal, absolutely amazing. Yeah?
Like a little short documentary.
It was like 20 minutes long. By far, that was the most professionally produced thing I've ever seen. I almost thought it wasn't by the Giants. They did an amazing job with that.
Okay, bet.
And I've been, bro, this entire offseason, I've been giving just kudos to the Giants media team because they really stepped it up. And I said this before, I'm going to say it again. I think they really stepped it up because they actually got a GM that cares about stuff like that, in my opinion. True. Yeah.
But, yeah, Steve, I also... I haven't watched the quarterback thing, but a lot of people are saying like they root for Kirk now. So
I don't root for Kirk, but his wife.
Bro, why? Yo, yes, bro. What am I doing wrong, God? What am I doing wrong? I'm not a football player. That's what
well, let me get the name because why am I forgetting the name?
Baltimore should do an in-season Hard Knocks.
Julie Cousins, bro.
Julie Cousins.
Julie Cousins.
I don't think Baltimore Ravens qualify, man. They can't have made the playoffs and whatever. Cousins.
I'm a Julie Cousins enthusiast now.
I mean, she got like the same smile Kirk Cousins has. What the hell?
Bro, it's just in the show of quarterbacks. It's the love that was you felt through the screen, bro. That's what it was.
She looks like I mean, she's cute, but I wouldn't say she's
Bro,
like.
bro, watch the show. It's just like you felt this pure love from the screen. That's
Okay,
what it
so she
was.
just has that like motherly, like attractive love to her,
Whoa,
like
whoa.
you know what I'm saying? You
It's
know how
just like you
when
could
you
like
have when you got a
she
girl.
genuinely loves and cares for Kirk Cousins, which was really
That's
cool
what
to
I'm
see.
saying. That's what I'm saying. When you got a girl, you got your wife. Her nurturing is like attractive. You know, that's what it is.
Yeah.
All right, 6 out of 10. That being said, guys, we kind of went off the rails here as we always do on the Young Guns podcast. Make sure you guys tune in next week for our recap of the Panthers game, and we'll be talking about everything about
Oh,
that.
I'm also definitely gonna be watching the Panthers players. I'm gonna be watching Mr. Quarterback on the Panthers.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
gonna see how he does.
Bryce Young. You gonna be working out that day? It's a Friday again.
No, I think I'll definitely stay back to watch it just because there's a chance I might see some
Bet.
starters.
You have I don't know if I'm gonna go live because man, my live was not popular. I ain't gonna lie to you guys. So I don't know if I'm gonna go live. I just probably just want to sit back and watch it and tweet with you guys because it is a lot of. And on top of that, guys, by the way, before you guys leave, after every preseason game so far, I don't know if this is gonna happen in the regular season. After every preseason game, I will be on the Bleacher Report app recapping the game. A couple of you guys showed up over there, and a bunch of like the Bleacher Report people, bro. A nice crowd, man, and appreciate you guys if you guys joined in. It was great. So I'll be on again guys. I'm talking like literally 2 minutes after the game. I'll post a link before on Twitter and on YouTube. Click in, join in on the conversation in the chat there. But yeah, thank you guys so much. And any last thoughts, bro?
Not anything to add. I really do hope that we see some of the starters on Friday. And yeah, let's see what we get next week.
Yep. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you guys next week.